Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every person's life when the world seems to stop listening. You're doing your best, you're showing up, you're putting in the work, but nothing is going right. Your plans collapse. Your efforts go unnoticed. The people you trusted start to disappear, and deep down inside, a voice begins to whisper, maybe this just isn't meant for you. But let me tell you something powerful. It's not the easy seasons that define you. It's the hard ones. The ones that stretch you, the ones that test you. The ones that demand more from you than you ever thought you had. In this video, we're not going to talk about staying motivated when life is beautiful. We're going to talk about how to keep going when everything is falling apart. When the doors keep closing. When the nights feel long. When you start losing faith in yourself. Because that's where the real transformation begins. Not when things go your way, but when they don't and you choose to rise anyway. This is for the warriors who feel like the battle will never end. For the dreamers who've been waiting too long. For the believers who are starting to lose hope. If you feel tired, stuck, unseen, this message is for you. Let's talk about how to stay motivated, not just when it's easy, but when it feels impossible. Because those are the moments that build unshakable strength. And let's begin when nothing makes sense anymore. Let's talk about the days no one wants to talk about. The days where you feel like you're doing everything right and still everything is going wrong. You've been showing up, giving your best, praying, working, sacrificing, staying hopeful. But the doors just won't open. The results are delayed. The people you believed in walk away. The plans you carefully made fall apart. You feel invisible, defeated, drained. And in those moments, a question creeps into your mind. What's the point? It's a fair question. When your life doesn't reflect your effort, when your heart is broken and your faith feels thin, it's easy to wonder if your dreams are even worth the pain anymore. But hear this. This moment you are in, the chaos, the silence, the waiting, this is not the end of your story. It's just the middle. You see, life will test you the hardest right before it blesses you the most. Why? Because pressure creates diamonds. Because storms force your roots to grow deeper. Because some seasons exist not to reward you but to prepare you. The world has trained us to chase success through instant results. Quick wins, fast rewards. But the truth is, real transformation happens in the seasons, when nothing seems to be working, but you keep showing up anyway. Motivation isn't about feeling hyped every morning. It's not about always being inspired. It's about holding on to your why when your what feels impossible. The most powerful people you admire didn't become unshakable by gliding through life. They became strong in the dark. They became focused in the silence. They were built in seasons like the one you're in now. And you're not weak for feeling lost. You're not broken for questioning everything. You're human and you're growing through something most people would give up on. So when nothing makes sense, when it feels like life has you on pause, remember this. You are not stuck. You are being sharpened. The progress may not be visible yet, but something within you is shifting. Your patience is strengthening. Your faith is deepening. Your endurance is building. This season is not punishment, it's preparation. And even if you can't see the finish line right now, you must trust that it exists. Because on the other side of confusion is clarity. On the other side of exhaustion is breakthrough. On the other side of this storm is a version of you you've never met but will be so proud of. So don't quit here. Not now. Not like this. This moment is where your strength is born. Remember why you started. When life starts falling apart, when nothing seems to be going your way, there's one powerful thing that can anchor you. Your why. It's easy to stay motivated when things are working out, when the doors are opening, when the results are coming in, when people are cheering you on. But what about when everything is silent? When no one's watching? When no one claps, no one calls, and all you're left with is your thoughts. In those moments, your why becomes everything. Your why is more than just a goal, it's a reminder. It reminds you of the fire that once burned inside you, the vision that pulled you forward when you first began. It reminds you of the version of you that dared to dream when others still believe in you. It reminds you that this isn't just a project, a plan, or a passing phase. It's your purpose, your calling, your path. Let me tell you something, your mind will try to convince you that if things are hard, you're going the wrong way. But that's not true. Sometimes the hardest path is the right one. Sometimes resistance is proof that you're pushing against something powerful. Your own limitations, your old story, your self-doubt. And in that resistance, you must remind yourself, you didn't come this far to quit now. You didn't endure all those sleepless nights just to give up. You didn't start fighting for a new life just to crawl back to the old one. You may feel tired, you may feel lost, but you are not defeated. Because every time you remember your why, your heart will find its strength again. Ask yourself, why did I start this journey? What was I trying to prove, build, or become? Who am I doing this for? My future self, my family, my purpose. Write it down, say it out loud, let it echo through your soul. Let it drown out the doubt. Let it silence the fear. And here's the key. Your why doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be quiet. It needs to be personal. It can be something as simple as, I want to break this cycle. Or I want to prove to myself that I can change. Or even, I want to feel proud when I look in the mirror. Wherever your why is, hold it close. Because your circumstances may shift. People may walk away. The plan may fail. But your why can carry you through all of it. Your why is your anchor in the storm. And when the waves crash, it's the reason you keep swimming. So today, when motivation feels like it's slipping through your hands, grab onto your why. Let it pull you back. Let it lift you up. And remind yourself, you started this for a reason, and that reason still matters. Progress hides in the shadows. Sometimes the most powerful progress you ever make is the kind you can't see. You've been showing up, you've been putting in the effort, you've sacrificed comfort, sleep, emotions, and maybe even relationships to pursue something bigger. But when you look around, it feels like nothing's changing. The results aren't matching your effort. The recognition isn't coming. The success still feels miles away. And in that moment, frustration sets in. You begin to wonder if anything you're doing even matters. You begin to ask, why should I keep going if nothing's working? But here's the truth. Progress isn't always loud. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it hides in the shadows, quietly reshaping who you are while no one else notices. Think about a seed. When you plant it, you don't see growth overnight. There's no instant sign of life, no green sprouting out of the soil. But beneath the surface, roots are growing. The foundation is forming. And just because you can't see it, doesn't mean it isn't happening. Your growth is no different. Every early morning you show up counts. Every time you choose to keep going when your emotions tell you to stop counts. Every step forward, no matter how small, is adding to something much greater than what you can currently see. You see, we live in a world addicted to instant results. Instant likes, instant feedback, instant validation. But greatness is a slow burn. It's built over time to repetition, failure, discipline, and patience. You have to understand, progress isn't always a massive leap. Sometimes it's a quiet whisper of strength when no one's watching. It's the shift in mindset that no one sees. It's the mental discipline to get up when you don't feel like it. It's the invisible healing you're doing after years of emotional wounds. Just because your breakthrough hasn't arrived doesn't mean you're not on the path to it. And the most dangerous mistake you can make is to walk away, right before everything starts to come together. Progress doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it's disguised as struggle. Sometimes it feels like failure when in reality it's a test. So the next time you feel like quitting because you can't see the results, remind yourself, You don't need to see it to believe in it. You don't need evidence to trust your process. You just need faith. Faith that your effort is not in vain. Faith that what you're building is taking shape beneath the surface. Faith that when the time is right, everything you've been working for will rise and reveal itself. Stay committed, stay consistent, and trust. Your progress is real, even if it's still in the shadows. Replace emotion with discipline. Yeah, let's get honest, motivation is not something you can count on every day. Some mornings, you'll wake up inspired, ready to conquer the world. And then there are days when you wake up exhausted, drained, empty, and the last thing you feel like doing is pushing forward. That's where most people fall off track. They think motivation is supposed to carry them all the way. They think that if they don't feel inspired, then it's not the right time. They wait to feel like it before they act. But here's the hard truth. You don't rise by emotion. You rise by discipline. If you want to stay motivated when life isn't going your way, you must stop relying on how you feel and start committing to what you decided. Motivation is an emotion. Discipline is a decision. Emotions fluctuate. They're influenced by stress, people, weather, sleep, and countless outside forces. But discipline is built within. It's your internal compass. That doesn't change based on how you feel. It says, I do it anyway. The gym doesn't care if you're tired. Your body goals don't care if you're in a bad mood. The dream you're chasing doesn't pause just because your emotions are running low. The greatest achievers in the world are not the ones who always felt motivated. They are the ones who showed up regardless. They made a promise to themselves and they honored it. That's what discipline is. It's self-respect in action. So when life feels heavy and motivation disappears, remember, this is the exact moment where your discipline matters most. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you draw the sleep. It's what gets you working when your heart feels heavy. It's what keeps you consistent when nothing seems to be paying off. To feel like doing it, you just have to do it. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't wait to feel motivated to do it. You do it because it's necessary, because it's part of your daily standard. The same goes for your goals, your vision, your healing, your transformation. If you only act when you're motivated, you'll be inconsistent. But if you act from discipline, you'll build momentum. And once you build momentum, motivation begins to return. Motivation is not the fire, it's the spark. The discipline is what keeps the fire burning. So let this be your new mantra. I don't need to feel it, I just need to honor it. Honor your dreams. Honor your progress. Honor the future version of you who will thank you for showing up today, especially when it was hard. Because the day you stop depending on your emotions and start building the muscle of discipline is the day your entire life begins to shift. Find meaning in the struggle. When life doesn't go your way, when everything feels heavy and uncertain, it's natural to question everything. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? Can anything just work out? It's a hard place to be. You feel like you're trying, giving, hoping, fighting, and yet nothing seems to change. The more you push, the more life pushes back. But what if the struggle isn't meant to destroy you? What if the struggle is meant to define you? See, we've been conditioned to think that pain is punishment, that setbacks are signs we should quit, that difficulty is a dead end. But in reality, struggle is often the birthplace of strength. Growth doesn't come from comfort, it comes from resistance. You don't become mentally tough in easy seasons. You become strong when life challenges you and you choose not to back down. The most inspiring people in the world didn't become that way because life was kind to them. They became powerful because they turned their pain into purpose. They found meaning in their struggle. And you can too. The hardship you're going through right now is teaching you something. It may be teaching you patience, or resilience, or how to walk away from what no longer serves you. It may be shaping you into a version of yourself that can handle greater blessings down the line. You have to start asking a better question. Instead of, why me? Try asking, what is this trying to teach me? That question opens the door to growth. That mindset transforms suffering into strength. Because when you give your struggle meaning, it no longer owns you, it fuels you. Think about it. Some of your greatest lessons came from your most painful moment. The heartbreak taught you self-worth. The rejection taught you direction. The delay taught you preparation. The failure taught you how to begin again. With wisdom this time. Don't rush to escape the hard seasons. Let them refine you. Let them strip away what's false. Let them build your character, your courage, and your conviction. When you start to see pain as a teacher, not just a problem, you become unstoppable, because now, no matter what happens, you find value in it. You extract purpose from the chaos. And that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you motivated, not fake positivity or empty affirmations, but the deep knowing that this moment, as hard as it is not meaningless. It's part of your becoming. So if today feels hard, breathe. You're not being buried, you're being planted. And in time, with light and consistency, you will rise again, stronger, wiser, and more grounded than ever before. Your struggle has meaning. Your struggle has value. And one day, you look back and say, that season didn't break me, it built me. Reset, don't retreat. There's something powerful you need to hear today. It's okay to pause. It's okay to catch your breath. It's okay to feel tired. We live in a world that praises hustle, glorifies grind, and often equates rest with weakness. But that mindset is what leads people to burnout, breakdowns, and giving up on their dreams completely. Listen closely. You don't need to retreat. You just need to reset. Life gets overwhelming. Your plans fall apart. Your energy runs low. Your motivation disappears. And when that happens, most people respond in one of two ways. They either quit entirely, or they push themselves so hard that they collapse, mentally, emotionally, or physically. But there's a third option. You stop, breathe, reset. You step back, not to run away, but to gain clarity. You rest, not because you're lazy, but because you're wise enough to know that even machines need to recharge. You pause, not because you're giving up, but because you're allowing yourself to realign. There is incredible power in a reset. A reset is what reminds you of your purpose. It's what brings you back to your why. It's what clears the fog and renews your strength. Have you ever tried to solve a problem when your mind was fried? Have you ever tried to push through when your body was screaming for rest? You don't perform better by draining yourself. You perform better by reviving yourself. A reset can be a day of silence, a walk in nature, an honest conversation with yourself. In a moment of gratitude, a nap, a journal session, a spiritual check-in. You don't have to disappear for a year to reset your life. Sometimes a few intentional hours of rest and reflection can reignite the motivation you thought you'd lost forever. And don't let guilt rob you of your rest. You're not weak for needing a break. You're human. Even the strongest warriors step off the battlefield to sharpen their swords and heal their wounds. You're not here to sprint through life. You're here to endure, to evolve, and to arrive whole, not broken. When you allow yourself to reset, you give yourself space to rise again, not with depleted energy, but with renewed vision, deeper wisdom, and focused strength. So the next time you feel like life is too much, don't run. Don't retreat into fear or defeat. Take a step back. Take a deep breath and simply say, I'm not quitting. I'm resetting. Because a pause is not a full stop, and rest is not surrender, it's preparation. Reset your energy. Reset your mind. Reset your soul. And then come back. Stronger, sharper, more committed than ever. You don't need to give up. You just need a moment to remember how powerful you are. Silence the inner critic. When life isn't going your way, your loudest enemy isn't the outside world, it's the voice in your own head. That voice that says, you're not good enough, you're falling behind, you're a failure. you're never going to make it. It's subtle. It creeps in when you're tired. It grows louder when things go wrong. And if you let it, it will convince you to give up, not because you're incapable, but because you've been tricked into believing a lie. That voice is your inner critic. And here's the truth. The inner critic is not your intuition. It's not your wisdom. It's not the voice of reality. It's the voice of fear. It's the echo of every moment in your life when you are made to feel small, unwanted, unworthy. But you don't have to believe it. Not anymore. If you want to stay motivated when life feels heavy, you must learn to master the conversation happening in your mind, because your inner world creates your outer experience. The thoughts you feed will eventually shape the reality you live in. So when the inner critic speaks, speak louder. When it says you're not good enough, you say, I'm learning and growing every day. When it says you always mess things up, you say, I make mistakes, but I don't quit. When it says this will never work, you say, every step forward brings me closer. You don't need to eliminate negative thoughts completely. You just need to stop agreeing with them. Your mind is a battlefield, and you have to choose which voice gets the power. Is it the voice that holds you back or the one that pushes you forward? Understand this. The inner critic thrives on uncertainty, fear, and self-doubt. But it loses its grip the moment you start speaking truth to yourself. The moment you remind yourself of your past victories. The moment you decide to show up even when your mind says, what's the point? You've overcome before. You've survived heartbreak, failure, disappointment, silence. You're not weak, you're seasoned. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. Your inner critic might remind you of where you fell, but you must remind yourself of how far you've come. Tell yourself the way you would talk to someone you love, with compassion, with hope, with truth. Your inner critic may be loud, but your inner champion is louder if you choose to listen. So the next time the voice of doubt rises in your mind, don't let it make decisions for you. Pause, breathe, and declare, I hear you, but I'm not listening anymore. Your dreams are too big, your purpose is too strong, and your future is too important to be handed over to fear. Silence the critic, feed your confidence, and let the voice of power guide you forward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. If you're on the edge right now, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, this part is for you. Because maybe you've been waiting for things to change, waiting for the struggle to end, waiting for your moment to come. And the truth is, you're exhausted. You've questioned if it's worth it. You've thought about walking away. You've asked the universe, God, life itself, why is this taking so long? But here's what you need to know. And not just know in your head, but feel in your soul. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Most people quit right before they see the shift. They walk away 5 minutes before the miracle. They stop trying just before the tide was about to turn. You see, breakthroughs don't always come with warning signs. They don't show up with flashing lights and loud music. They come quietly, often after your hardest battle. Right when you think you can't take another step, that's usually when everything begins to change. But only for those who keep moving. You don't have to sprint, you don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to feel ready. You just have to take one more step. Because maybe the relationship you want, the success you crave, the peace you long for is just one more day of effort away. One more decision, one more act of faith. That's how breakthroughs work. They require you to trust what you can't see yet. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes everything in you. But what's waiting on the other side of your perseverance isn't just a goal. It's a new version of you. A version that doesn't settle. A version that knows her worth. A version that remembers what it means to believe again. You are closer than you think. Closer to the healing, closer to the clarity, closer to the peace, closer to the power. Don't let temporary frustration make you destroy a permanent blessing. Don't let exhaustion rob you of elevation. Don't let the weight of today convince you to throw away tomorrow. Instead, speak this over yourself. I am closer than I realize. My time is coming, my season is shifting, and I will not quit on the edge of my breakthrough. If you've held on this long, you've got what it takes to go just a little bit further. And that little bit more, that's what separates those who wish from those who win. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Keep planting those seeds. Because what's about to bloom will be worth everything it took to survive this season. Your breakthrough isn't a fantasy. It's real, it's near, and it's waiting for you to not give up. So after everything we've talked about, after walking through the silence, the struggle, the setbacks, and the self-doubt, let me remind you of one thing that matters more than anything else. You're still here. And that alone makes you powerful beyond words. Because life may not be going your way right now. The doors may still be closed. The answers might still be unclear. The weight might still feel heavy. But through it all, you've kept going. You're still standing. You're still showing up. And that is the definition of strength. It's easy to stay motivated when life is easy. It's easy to be inspired when everything is falling into place. But when nothing's working, when the road is dark, when you feel like you're walking alone, that's when your character is forged. That's where you discover who you truly are. You're not here by accident. You're not still breathing, still fighting, still believing by chance. There's something inside you, call it purpose, call it resilience, call it soul, that refuses to give up even when you want to. And that part of you is more important than motivation. That part of you is your light in the storm. Because real motivation doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. Surrender from the choice you make every single day to say, I may not see the results yet, I may not feel strong today, but I'm not done, I'm not quitting, I'm not giving up on myself. And maybe today, that's all you need. Not perfection, not a master plan, just the courage to keep going. Just the faith to take one more step. Just the strength to say, this is not where my story ends. So take a breath. Look at how far you've come. Think of everything you've already survived. And let that be proof you are more capable than you realize. Yes, the road is hard. Yes, the timing feels unfair. Yes, the delays are frustrating. But trust this, nothing is being wasted. Every struggle has been shaping you. Every challenge has been molding you. Every silent season has been preparing you for something greater than what you're facing now. You're growing. You are evolving. You are becoming the person your future needs. So hold your head high, even if it feels heavy. Speak life over yourself, even when your heart feels tired. And keep moving forward, especially when it would be easier to stop. It's because the most powerful breakthroughs happen when you refuse to give in to the pressure of giving up. And when your time comes, and it will, you'll look back and thank yourself for not quitting during the storm. Stay strong, stay grounded, and no matter what, keep going. Your breakthrough is coming. Your moment is near, and the world hasn't seen the best of you yet. This is your time. Don't stop now.